It's episode 1008, and it's the Relevant Podcast. Here in Orlando, I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, is Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Austin, Texas, downtown Emily Brown.
Hey, y'all.
Jamie's out one more time. She'll be back next week. And from Nashville, Tennessee, artist, producer, mogul, Derek Miner.
What up?
Amen. Man, it is already mid-October. Do you guys know what you're doing for Halloween? Are you guys the type of people that like plan costumes or anything?
Oh, yeah.
You do these elaborate whatevers?
Family.
Or?
Yeah, we try as a family to all, be in theme. And I feel like this is one of the most difficult years when it comes to...
You don't feel like a theme person to me. Is this coming from your wife or is this you?
I mean, look, it's... I'm not...
Is this a happy wife, happy life situation?
It's more of the kids, but I speak into it. Like we did Avengers.
I'm not surprised that you're a theme person.
We did Avengers. Yeah, we did Avengers a couple years ago. Last year was like a Space Jam year. Like we try to find some sort of pop cultural. It's really hard this year, guys.
Why?
Because there hasn't been like those big pop culture hallmarks. When you start thinking about it, the only one is. And I'm not going to be out there with 5,000 Top Gun families. Okay, I can't do it. That's pretty much. That's pretty much the big shared pop cultural moment this year was Top Gun. Can you guys think of anything? Every year, I have a long list. And I'm like, I could do this. This has been very difficult for the shared, like cultural moment that everyone instantly knows the reference.
You could be the cast of the Don't Worry, Darling movie at the Venice Premiere Film Festival. You could spit on your kid.
Yeah. I mean,
you could be Harry Styles.
Yeah, I do think that would be. But again, I feel that's
not a huge pop culture one. I think it would be funny.
Derek, do you do anything for Halloween? Do you dress up?
I mean, I let the kids do it, but I don't know. I don't really mess with it like that. I was always just there for the candy. Yeah. As a kid, I guess that's just growing up Pentecostal, you know what I'm saying? Like it never was a thing. It was never like the thing. So it's like now it's just like, hey, I give my kids their little Iron Man costume or whatever, and we go on about our day. You know what I'm saying?
Halloween in my neighborhood is very, very big. Like every adult is dressed up. There's no question. You might as well not come outside. Oh yeah, it's huge. There's a big block party before the trick or treating. But it's pretty much there isn't an adult in the neighborhood who isn't in some manner of elaborate
if there's a house in your neighborhood that has an open house, like it's for sale, do you stand out in the front yard with a clipboard vetting the people considering moving to your neighborhood? Like,
oh, absolutely.
You tell them the requirements and all that.
It's a very social. We don't want any fuddy-duddies in the neighborhood keeping it to themselves. Okay, this is pretty much open door policy.
Dude, I lived in this house for 4 years. Have never once spoken to my neighbor on one side. Like we walk by each other all the time with our dogs and stuff. Never even acknowledged each other exist. Like that's my neighborhood. Keep to yourself. That's my neighborhood.
I know all of my neighbors. I get phone calls and texts from my neighbors all the time. I went on vacation with my neighbors. Like we are all very close.
Oh, that's lit.
But anyway,
I feel like I'm always really low key when it comes to Halloween costume. Like I'll be honest, this is actually a shirt from an old Halloween costume when I went as like a 70s hippie a couple years ago. But it's just a really comfy shirt. So I'm the person, I just look in my closet and I'm like, what can I put together? I've been a cheetah girl multiple years in a row because I have a cheetah shirt. And it's just easy to put that in like a headset on. Say I'm part of the fifth cheetah girl. Done it multiple times.
I have to tap into something timely. Like the year Cameron and I went to space camp, I used that and fashioned it into a Space Force costume. I had a little Nerf gun, but it was timely. Everyone was talking about space. It was thinking back, what more innocent times pre-COVID when the big story was Space Force, know? But either way, I like to have something timely. And this year's just been pretty hard, not a lot of fun costume stuff other than Top Gun.
If we can go back to mid 2019, who knew? Man. Who knew that? Who knew what would happen right after that?
What a ride. What a ride. At least we all got to see Top Gun and that was cool. But the thing is, I live in a neighborhood that's right by a military base. And if I just grew a mustache and wore a flight suit, people would be like, oh, he just got off work. Like he works at Oceana. I have a neighbor who's literally a Top Gun pilot. Like he has the actual flight suit, So people will just
flight suit. And because on Halloween, you would be the only one, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
All right. Well, we have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, Stephen Chandler joins us. He's awesome. He has a new book coming out. He's speaking at my church this week. Very cool.
Is he related to Matt Chandler?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's black. Matt Chandler's white.
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Very different.
Sorry, bro.
All right. And we have a game at the end of the show you don't want to miss. All right. Stay tuned. Up next, it's Slices.
This is why I don't leave the house. You say the coast is clear, but you won't catch me out. Oh, why? This is why. Better have conviction, 'cause we were crimes of passion. Survival of the fittest. You're either with us or you can keep it.
You're listening to Paramore. They're back. They're back in a big way. The song is This Is Why. Well, today's show is brought to you by The Navigators. Do you wonder what it looks like to pray or study the Bible with someone else but aren't sure where to start? You're not alone, and The Navigators are here to help. The Navigators created a new free ebook, Discipleship 101, to help listeners like you practice simple and practical spiritual growth habits with those around you. Through this Discipleship 101 ebook, you'll discover the unique ways you've already been equipped to help others grow in Christ. It doesn't have to be complicated. You already have everything it takes to come alongside others and help them grow in the faith. Your heart, gifts, and relationship with God are all you need to get started. Take the next step by downloading this free ebook now. Just visit navigators.org/relevant to download today. Again, visit navigators.org/relevant to download your free ebook now. Okay, it's time for
Slices.
What do you have, Jesse?
All right. I love these type of stories. And we're just talking about how, we need more like good news in the world. You know how there's like 1,000 stories a week about, oh, well, this habit's really bad for you. Well, if you're not getting 6 hours, at least 7 hours of sleep a night, it's an early death wish. We always hear, I love the stories where something we all love, you find out is really good for you. And I'm not going to get into the details on this because really, who cares? I'm just going to jump to the headline. It is that this comes from the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology. Drinking 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day is linked with a longer lifespan and a lower risk of cardiovascular disease compared with avoiding coffee altogether.
I'm going to be immortal.
So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't even matter what kind of coffee. It could be decaf. It could be instant. They just said there's something about the compounds found within the coffee bean that is really good for heart health. If I was a university study, I would only be taking awesome foods and tell my scientists, find me a reason to tell people to eat this. Find one good thing about it, and we're going to publish those studies. We need more of this in science. I'm tired of these headlines that everything I love in life is slowly killing me. Guess what? We're all slowly dying, okay? Just enjoy life. I challenge all scientists. Dedicate your life to research that just encourages people to eat garbage. Like it is, what a pursuit that would be. Like when you hear like, oh, dark chocolate is good for brain health. We just need more of that. I feel like it would uplift humanity a little. I don't need a reason to drink more coffee. If I found out that coffee was really bad for your heart, I'd probably still keep drinking it. But I just feel like this is a noble pursuit for people to find out reasons why we should eat more really good stuff.
I loved this study too, because I drink so much coffee. And so part of me was like, oh, I guess I can keep drinking. But I feel like there has to be a limit. Like I think the study said it was like 2 to 3 cups a day is good for you. Yeah. But like if I'm not that I do this often, I've had 4 cups a day. I'll say it. Like at what point does it turn bad? Or is it just saying like, it doesn't matter. Just like only drink coffee. You'll be good. You'll live forever.
I mean, that's what I'm taking away from it,
So I can stop drinking water and replace my body with coffee.
Here's the thing, Emily. I intentionally didn't read the details of the study because I don't want to know like the caveats.
The fine print, side effects. Like
exactly. If I only read the headline that says drink coffee, it was good for your heart, then I'm just going to drink coffee and feel good about it. Right. It's not going to change. Even if deep in the study it says, yeah, but by the way, it causes, some other weird side effect that, it's not going to affect my coffee consumption. I'm still going to drink it. I might as well feel good about that decision. It's like the Mad Men thing.
Makes sense.
It's like, look, people were smoking cigarettes. You might as well tell them it's toasted and great for you. Just don't make them feel bad about it. Just find me a reason.
I forgot they did that. That's true.
Yeah.
They literally tried to do a health campampane for cigarettes in the 60s.
And you know what? Life was a lot less of a bummer for smokers at that point.
If Mad Men was true, I don't understand. I watch it, and he's eating steaks every day. He's drinking nonstop every day. They're smoking every day. And John Hamm had the athleticism of a Greek god. Like, I don't understand how this was possible back then. Think about the pictures of the 60s. Everybody's skinny.
There's pictures of like a Super Bowl halftime where like there's a guy on the bench drinking a beer and smoking a cigarette. Michael Jordan would smoke cigars, literally put smoke in his lungs before basketball games. Like it was a different time. And now all these scientists and doctors weren't getting all judgy all the time. People live life, man.
What I'm hearing is science needs to be less judgy.
I like it.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Let's focus on good science, not judgy science about how junk food slowly kills you. So
you can literally, like you said, find a health spin on anything. So now it's coffee. All right. What do you have, Derek?
Hey, so keeping up with last week's show, Google searches for excuses of getting out of work they have exponentially grown since the pandemic. And that's literally it. There's nothing else. Obviously, I think we know the reason. Everybody has been working from home and nobody wants to go back to the office. The people that are back at the office wish they were working at home. And in America, we work a lot more than most other places do. So I could see why Google searches have risen for people that want to get out of work.
But it's like a crazy amount, though. What was the statistic?
The statistic is, exactly. Back in 2018, 350,000 people were asking the internet for an excuse. That number has risen to 3.8 million, a tenfold increase. Holy cow. 3.8 million. That's crazy.
So have you heard the last podcast? The question that we asked y'all was, what's the craziest excuse you've used or heard? And that's why, because we posted the slice on the site and then we did that as a follow-up question. I would say, coming up with your own excuse. If all you can do is my boyfriend left me, I'm going to go after him and I got hit with a BB gun in the butt cheek, maybe you should Google.
Yeah, you got to do your research.
Options.
Do your research.
You got to do a little research first.
Do your research.
I wrote this slice and I did actually look up. I think it was 4 billion searches come up when you Google like reasons to skip work or something like that. Like it was like
excuses.
So many pages that will give you way better thing. I mean, I'm sure there's some on there that are like shot in the butt with a BB gun, but there's others. Here's my thing. Not that I feel can't look at Cameron while I say this. Just the good old I'm sick excuse. You know what I mean? Like
every time.
That's all you need.
I don't got to show you my doctor's note.
Especially during a pandemic. Like
we're all sick.
I feel like it's at the point where it's like, you know what? I don't need any details. Just stay away.
Right.
Please don't come here.
Yeah.
Like,
we changed ours. We used to have vacation time and sick time, and it's just all paid time off now. Like if you're sick and if you just need a mental health day, it's valid.
Right.
If you're out for like 2 weeks in the hospital, please let us know so we can plan accordingly.
Send us a text.
Right.
That'd be nice. But it's weird that people have to come up with excuses. I mean, let's say you told your boss that you got shot in the butt with a BB gun. What's he going to do? Check? I mean, like, why are you telling him that detail? Yeah. Just anyway.
I'm going to say, okay, see ya.
Yeah. I mean,
that's not a baby. That's a zit. Yeah. Anyway. All right. What do you have, Emily?
So, okay. Have we heard about the new adult Happy Meals at McDonald's?
Yeah.
Have we heard about those yet?
Wait, hold on. They have adult toys?
Pause. Wait a second. Wait a second.
That doesn't seem like sanitary.
Whoa.
They really need to come up with a better word. It is, they are like these 4 little like plush characters. I'll be honest, kind of ugly, had to be said. They have 4 eyes. They freak me out. I don't like them, but it's part of McDonald's. They have released an adult Happy Meal because I guess that's where we're at in the world. I personally wanted the McDonald's snack wrap to come back, but I guess a Happy Meal is fine. So They've been rolling these out for, I think, a few weeks now. And a lot of McDonald's workers are posting on social media, begging people to stop ordering adult Happy Meals.
Why?
They're just like so many people are coming in. And so they're like having to deal with all of these adults who are like asking for Happy Meals, but some of them are saying like they've run out of supplies, and then they have to deal with grown adults who are upset about not having this little toy. You know,
Where's
it's just
my
like
toy?
This is brilliant. I mean, it's like the Travis Scott meal at McDonald's. Like they were like overrun with people trying to order the Travis Scott meal.
It is shocking. I feel like every other week there's a new like McDonald's deal. And I don't know why is there not like a Sonic one? Like, why is Chick-fil-A not doing this?
Chick-fil-A doesn't need to. Have you driven by one?
McDonald's need to?
No, Chick-fil-A definitely doesn't need to, or McDonald's definitely doesn't need to. You know, they're the biggest fast food
if
chain
this
in
was
the world.
Sonic, sure, makes sense. I don't go wrong. I love Sonic, but like,
hey, I'm not even gonna lie. That Chick-fil-A kids meal is struggling. I'm like, y'all gotta put some toys or something in here, man. They put this little.
I know they put books.
Yeah, it's like a book. Don't kids want no book?
They put like tracks. They put like Plan of Salvation.
Or you have
books.
to do like DIY stuff. You have to like build the toy yourself.
Yeah, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah, here's a bunch of
that.
pieces. Yeah.
You got one or two choices: a project for mom and dad, a little origami, covered in grease, or some lame little picture book about a farm or something. Yeah, no thanks. Hard pass.
Yeah, they gotta do better.
Yeah.
They gotta do
A book
better.
that grandma's in heaven now.
Yeah, do better, Chick-fil-A. Put little action figures or cheap plastic cool stuff. Nobody wants your lame farm books. Okay, nobody.
I'll be honest with you. There were seasons in my life where I collected vinyl figures. Like streetwear culture. I mean, the vinyl figures are kind of cool and collectible, and that's what McDonald's did. It's like these really cool little kind of vinyl figure versions of the McDonald's characters. I kind of want them. I'm not going to go to McDonald's to get them, but they're kind of cool. Anyway,
why wouldn't you go to McDonald's to get them? That's where they're at.
I'm just saying I don't like want to eat McDonald's. Like during the hurricane a couple weeks ago, I had no food, and so Cole and I were driving around looking for a place that might be open. Ended up we had to go to McDonald's. We went to like 10 places prior to that were closed. McDonald's was open, so we ate McDonald's, and we're both like, I don't feel so good afterwards. You know what I mean? Like,
if you go to McDonald's with the intention of feeling good about yourself, that's on you.
Like I felt sick.
True that.
It was the first hot food I had in 4 days. I was like, oh, these fries are going to be amazing. And I ate it, and I was appreciative of the warmth and the flavor.
And the salt.
And then I felt nasty afterwards. I was just like, I don't eat this stuff. Anyway.
Hey, look, McDonald's, I ain't messing my money up. McDonald's, hey, I'm all right with them chicken nuggets. I rock with the McNuggets, the McChicken.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me what's in them. I'll eat it.
Hey, I'm going to eat it.
Literally, Cohen was saying that in the car. He goes, I don't like anything at McDonald's, but I love their nuggets, and I don't care what's in it. He literally said, I don't care what's in it. Because he had read, or the kids were spreading a rumor that there was plastic in them. And he's like, I'll eat the plastic because they're so delicious. Like, dude, there's no plastic in the McNuggets.
I don't know if this is just a Texas public high school education, but in high school, we did have to watch Super Size Me for class. I think it was like our some health class, whatever that. Which looking back, I'm like, was that really the best use of our time watching Super Size Me? Anyways, half the class afterwards was like, well, that just made me hungry for McDonald's. Like, I don't care what's in it. I didn't go into it thinking it was made with vegetables. Like, now I just want a Big Mac.
Yeah, what did he think was going to happen? He ate McDonald's every day. It's like, I'm surprised he didn't get way
bigger.
worse off. Like, it's kind of shocking. It's like, oh, that's worst
that
case.
bad.
That's worst case scenario. No sweat. Here's the thing. I feel like McDonald's should just like throw in stuff that an adult would actually want to use, or like it would save me an errand. Like, some AA batteries.
For the adult Happy Meal?
Yeah. Or like,
that's brilliant.
Washer fluid. I was actually I was going to have to go to Advanced Auto Parts. This is great. Or dental floss.
A little thing of washer fluid. You're in the car. You went through the drive-thru. Just top off your washer fluid.
USB
Here you go.
cord for my phone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Take dental floss off the grocery list this week. Like, it saved me an errand. Like, even if it was just a D battery, it's like, you know what? I really needed one for that big flashlight. The power just went out, and I don't know the last time I did.
This does feel like something Chick-fil-A would do, because they already provide everything you need, and then might as well get your dental floss or a little toothpaste.
Here's what I would call it: the junk drawer meal. You get a meal and you get one item that's useful for your junk drawer. Oh, some Scotch tape. Been needing that. Put it in. A junk drawer meal.
I like it. Look
at this, a little packet of sticky notes. I will get a lot of use out of these.
All right, that'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned. Up next, Stephen Chandler joins us.
Too much, just a stereo and some rock and roll on a real guitar. Now I get so bored, it's so monotonous. Remember when we thought it was all gonna be so great? Well, don't you understand? Oh, no.
You're listening to Dayglow. The song is Radio, but you heard it on a podcast. Well, today's show is also brought to you by He Gets Us, a national campaign sharing a fresh perspective on the story of Jesus. Why? Because the story of Jesus has been obscured. His name has been used to both harm and to heal, to unite and to divide. But how Jesus actually lived is not at all convoluted. He loved radically and suffered deeply. He always put others first. And He Gets Us is telling that story to anyone who will listen. As Christians, you know that story and you know how powerful it is. You also know it can be hard to tell it in a way that gets people's attention. The He Gets Us campaign has developed a platform to do just that, to share the story of Jesus on national television and on individual phone screens, and it's working. The campaign has over 315 million views on YouTube alone, not to mention those on Facebook, Instagram, and of course the broadcast networks. I saw it on SNL a couple weeks ago. And this is only the start. Visit HeGetsUsPartners.com to learn more and find out more behind the campaign. There's free resources. There's even small group studies that the relevant team did. And you can visit HeGetsUs.com if you want to check everything out for yourself. Well, our guest today is Stephen Chandler. Stephen's the senior pastor of Union Church in Maryland, the fastest growing church in the country. He's unapologetic about helping people maximize their God-given passions. His new book is called Stop Waiting for Permission, and it encourages people to find their God-given calling professionally and personally. Our very own Tyler Huckabee talked to him about learning how to take big risks with great wisdom, the importance of finding a community who will help you grow, and why he believes we're all called to be leaders, even if the only person we're leading is ourselves. Here's our conversation with Stephen Chandler.
When you decided to, stop waiting for permission, what was the thing that made you feel like this is the message I want to really lean into for this season and for this book?
Well, I would have to say this is probably the most impactful message in my life.
Okay.
For those that don't know my story, to give you kind of the cliff notes, I became the senior pastor of a church at the age of 23 years old. And about 5 years later, it was 28. And the church had not grown in 3 years. And I was looking for a way out. I was trying to give the church away. I was trying to quit. I was just so discouraged because I was like, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe this is about how far I can go. And it's funny to be 28 years old and to be like, I think I gave the world all I have to offer. I've got nothing left. But, I literally tried to give the church away. Nobody would take it. Like, I couldn't get out of it. And when I couldn't get out of it, it was so God. The one smart thing I did do is I started getting around leaders and pastors that were ahead of me, that have broken through the barriers that I was facing. And I quickly learned I'm doing something wrong. I don't know what I'm doing. And if I would shift and change what I'm doing, I would get different results. Fast forward 4 years, we were named the fastest growing church in America. That was going on 3 years ago. We've since doubled since then. And what God is doing through the church is truly unbelievable. And to think that I was ready to quit on something that had so much potential just because I didn't know a way forward. So my heart behind this book and my excitement behind the book is, man, I think there are people out there that are getting ready to quit on a marriage, quit on forming and shaping their children, quit on a business, or even quit on their faith, not knowing just because you've hit a barrier doesn't mean that it's the end. There's so much untapped potential. So it's my life story.
So what do you say? You know, there's people who are going to come to this book who are like, well, I don't work in a church. I may not even have like people around me that I could recruit to anything I'd call a leadership team or anything like that. What is this book? What does your message have for people like that?
Every single person on planet Earth is a leader. And here's why. Before we lead anybody else, we have to lead ourselves. What is leadership? Leadership is simply having a strategy and executing a plan to move from point A to point B. So if I say, hey, I want to get in better shape. I want to get in better health. I want to be able to run 3 miles without stopping. Well, leadership is I've got to strategize. How am I going to start working out? How am I going to change my diet? How am I going to change my schedule so I have time to work out? I've got to devise a plan. I've got to do some research, and then I've got to execute that plan. That is leadership. Now, I'm leading a team of one, me, but if I don't have a great plan, I don't have discipline, I don't have follow through, it will never take place. So this whole idea of I need to have 4,000 employees and be a CEO of some amazing company before I'm a leader is absolutely not true. You're leading yourself in your health, in your faith, in your relationship with God, in your raising your kids, in your relationships, in your career, your vocation. Every area of our lives is leadership because every area is moving from point A to point B. And what I find for so many people, and this is really the question that I'm hoping this book answers, is where do I start? So many people have a vision of what they want their tomorrow to look like. I know what I want: my health, my marriage, my money, my faith, my career. I know what I want it to look like. I just don't know where to start. I don't know how to begin. And my prayer is that this book is a step-by-step guide. And here's step 1, here's step 2, here's step 3.
Let me ask you this. For you, in your story, what looked like success, greatness in your case, was sticking with the church that you had, even when you wanted to throw in the towel. Now, we know statistically right now, a lot of young people in particular are switching jobs or thinking about switching jobs, switching careers. How can somebody tell the difference between I just need to rethink the lane that I'm in, where I'm at right now, and some people who might need to think, you know what, I'm on the wrong path and I do need to make a change? How do we determine that?
There is a chapter in the book where I talk about taking a risk. And there is no such thing as maximizing your potential and your entire life being a sure thing. I'm 100% certain this is the right decision. Life just doesn't work that way. There will always be risk. And one person's risk may be, I'm going to step away from this job and shift to something else. Another person's risk may be, I'm going to stick to this and not quite sure how it's going to work out. And what I talk about in the book is risk is not guessing. It's not luck. There's a wise way to take a step of risk. As people of faith, we believe that God speaks to us. I believe one of the ways that God speaks to us is through his peace. The Bible says, cast your cares upon him, for he cares for you. And as you go on in that verse, it says that he will give you a peace that surpasses all understanding, that will guard your heart and guard your mind. The opposite of peace is being double-minded. Double-minded is Monday, I'm feeling good about this decision. This is it. Tuesday, oh man, did I make, I don't know. Wednesday? No, I'm sure. And you're going back and forth. That's not peace. And that's not the right decision. So whether I stay at this job or whether I go to another, whether I, whatever the decision I'm trying to make, the first thing I'm looking for is, as I'm praying, as I'm seeking God, do I have a peace about it? Do I have a settled sense in my heart? Or is the Holy Spirit kind of prodding me, saying, hey, take another look. You're missing something. The second thing is godly counsel. Life was never meant to be done alone. The Bible says there's safety in counsel. There's wisdom when you have people around you that can advise you. You need to go to somebody who's a little bit more advanced in life. And here's a big deal, that they have proof in their life that they've made wise decisions and seen results from those wise decisions. I don't know about you, Tyler. I can always find somebody as foolish as I am to collaborate and to come in on some dumb decision that I want to make. So I'm not talking about somebody who's, crazy like I am. No, find somebody who has some stability to their life. They've taken some steps and they've seen godly results. And hey, can I get 5 minutes? Can I just talk this through to you? What do you think about me moving to this different city? What do you think about me marrying this person I've been dating for the last 18 months? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And really submitting your vision to people of wisdom, trusted people, and allow them to say, well, when I was in your situation and I wanted to leave and I stayed and I'm so glad I did. Or when I was in your situation, I stayed an extra 3 years and I regretted it. I should have moved when I first sensed the peace leave. And then the last one is just wisdom. I always say, don't make decisions that can bankrupt your life if they go wrong. So, for example, I have a lot of millennials, a lot of young folks at my church that are in their first job or their second job. And I'll have somebody come to me and say, like, man, I just didn't have a peace about that job, so I quit. I'm like, okay, so what are you going to do now? Well, I haven't quite thought that out yet. Haven't figured it out yet. I don't know what my next step is, but I just didn't have a peace about that, so I quit. And then I'm like, okay, so how you going to pay your rent? How you going to eat? How you going to put gas in your car? That was not a wise decision, because there's 2 steps to it. There's what I'm going to do, and then there's when I'm going to do it. Yes, I may be leaving this job, but I'm not going to do that until I find another one and take that step. So when you have the peace of God, you have godly counsel, you have wisdom, and all 3 of those things are in alignment. I'm not going to throw out statistics, but you're about 95% sure that this risk is going to turn out in a good way. And a lot of people, they either will not move and they're paralyzed in fear, or they jump out in foolishness and really don't take the time to evaluate with the Holy Spirit, is this a wise decision?
Was Stephen Chandler. Make sure to check out his new book, Stop Waiting for Permission. It's available now. You don't need permission to go get it. Just go get it. Stop waiting for permission. Just go get his book. All right, stay tuned up next. It's our game.
Ice, 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 ice cold. Ice, 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 ice cold. I had to watch on till you not. Know we had a little bit, so mama prayed a lot. Plans had to change on the regular. Still, I knew I was out of space for the hung with the generous, I Ellen up. If I'm down the ride, then my ride is really gonna make a move.
You're listening to YB. The song is Ice Cold. Okay, it is time for...
The price is what?
This week, Elon Musk says that he's once again planning to buy Twitter for its original price of $44 billion. We talk about this a lot at work.
Sheesh.
In fact, by the time this podcast came out, the deal should be closed, or some other sort of news about it will have come out. But anyway, it would be one of the most expensive private acquisitions in history, once again raising concerns about the abilities of the uber rich to impact market competition. But Twitter's far from the only expensive company out there. The world's full of hyper valuable treasures that exist far beyond the abilities of most of us to even imagine purchasing. This is true of companies, of course, but it's also true of actual items. some of which can be nearly as expensive as Musk's deal. In this game, you'll be given 3 of the most expensive individual items on Earth and beyond in 2022. All you have to do is identify which of the 3 items is the most expensive. There's only 2 rounds, so it's going to be a quick one. Note, each player gets 1 billionaire blast, which will remove 1 incorrect option from the list. You can only use your billionaire blast 1 time, but there's only 2 rounds, so it's pretty generous. There you go. Emily, you are up first. What is the most expensive of these 3 things? The History Supreme Yacht. That's the name. The History Supreme Yacht. A yacht designed by Stuart Hughes, a world-famous UK-based luxury designer, which took almost 3 years to complete. The pricey 100-foot vessel was bought by a Malaysian businessman. Or Antilla, a skyscraper located in Mumbai, is owned by Asia's richest billionaire, Mukesh Ambani. This huge 27-story house has luxury amenities like 3 helipads, air traffic control, parking space for 168 cars, a ballroom, 9 high-speed elevators, a 50-seat theater, and much more. Or is it 3, the Hubble Space Telescope? First launched in the year 1990, the Hubble Space Telescope is responsible for many major discoveries since then, including confirmation that our entire universe is expanding and assisted in understanding the age of the universe. So is it the History Supreme Yacht, Antilla, the 27-story house, or the Hubble Space Telescope? What's the most expensive?
Part of me wants to say the telescope, but it was built in the 90s, so I don't know if like we're basing it off the price then or the price to maintain it. Anyways, I'm gonna go with the second one because it was the longest description, and that just really, there was so many things packed into that house.
That house cost $2 billion. Okay. $2 billion.
I cannot rationalize that, but sure.
The Hubble Space Telescope cost $2.1 billion. The yacht cost $4.5 billion. A
boat?
The yacht,
that would have been my guess.
The boat cost twice as much as a 27-story house.
That would have been my guess.
Because you got to make it float. Take everything in that house, put it on water. All right.
I have thoughts. Okay.
What? What are your thoughts?
That for a boat? A boat. Like,
that's your thoughts.
A boat?
Even the cheapest boats are shockingly expensive.
It's ridiculous.
Like nothing, there's not one item on that boat that wouldn't blow your mind how much
I
it
feel like
costs.
we should once again clarify. I do not have a home right now. So like the thought of anyone spending millions of dollars on a boat is insane to me.
All right, here we go. All right, Jesse, you're up. Most expensive. The Card Players. It's a painting. It's the artwork of famous French artist Paul Cézanne. It's presently owned by the...
I know it. It's the dogs playing poker. Next.
See, how did you know that?
I have no idea what it is.
I thought you were serious.
All right. Villa Leopolda. Villa Leopolda is a home constructed on the French Riviera. It served the purpose of the hospital during the Second World War. It's owned by Edmund and Lily Safra. Or the comparable diamond necklace, made up of a near flawless 407.48 carat white diamond, along with 90 white diamonds that weigh around 230 carats. It was discovered almost 30 years ago in Congo by a child. What is the most expensive? The Card Players, a painting, the Villa Leopolda, or an incomparable diamond necklace?
I'm going to go with the diamond necklace because I remember one time when I was a kid and we went to the Smithsonian on a field trip, and when they were like, man, the Hope Diamond is there. I was like obsessed with, I was like, dude, I was picturing like a Scrooge McDuck type of like at least the size of like a Nerf football diamond.
Right.
It's
not
barely
that impressive.
It's not impressive at all. I mean, it's the size of like silver dollar.
It's like seeing the Mona Lisa. Yeah.
All I have to say is like, it doesn't take much diamond to be unbelievably expensive. I'm going to go with the necklace.
The diamond necklace is $55 million. The Card Players painting is $275 million. And the Villa Leopolda is $506 million. So 10 times more than the diamond. There you go.
Diamonds are lame anyway.
Especially ones that were taken from the Congo. Put it back in the Congo.
Yeah, give him back.
Give it back to the people.
How much? I hope the kid got something for it.
For real.
You know he didn't.
Of course he
did. It's got a French name on it, so it was definitely in the hands of different people now. All right, Derek, you're up. The most expensive. A 1963 Ferrari GTO. Out of 39 GTOs that were manufactured to date, this particular GTO won the 1963 Tour de France, driven by Jean Guilloche. It was purchased by an anonymous buyer. The Garçon à la Pipe. all this French stuff. You know who wrote this game? Picasso was just 24 years old when he painted Gauguin. So it's a Picasso. It's considered to be one of the best ever early works by an artist to appear in the art market. Or a 201 carat gemstone watch. The watch was made by the Chopard watchmakers. There are 874 diamonds and a total of 201 carats of precious gemstones with heart-shaped fancy diamonds embedded in it. What's the most expensive? The 63 Ferrari GTO that won the Tour de France, the Garçon à la Pipe painting, or the 201 carat gemstone watch?
It's definitely the watch.
That was $25 million. The Ferrari GTO is $52 million, and the painting is $104 million.
Oh, I was wrong.
There you go. All right, round two. All right, here we go. You're up, Emily.
Okay.
Most expensive. The Diamond Panther bracelet, jewelry. It's the most expensive bracelet in the world. This jewelry piece triggered a romance between Wallace Simpson, the original socialite and queen of style, and Edward VIII. The Dead Shark, an art piece. An art piece created by Damien Hirst. This artwork is officially called The Physical Impossibility of Death in the Mind of Someone Living. It was picked up by an anonymous hedge fund billionaire. Or the Perfect Pink. It's jewelry. Perfect Pink diamond was auctioned at Christie's Hong Kong for a large amount. According to Vicky Seck, director of the jewelry department at Christie's Asia, it's the most expensive jewel in the Asian subcontinent. So is it the Diamond Panther bracelet, the Dead Shark art piece, or the Perfect Pink bracelet? Or diamond, sorry.
I would like to use my billionaire blast because I can.
We will take off the Diamond Panther bracelet. So is it the Dead Shark art piece or the Perfect Pink?
I think it's the art piece because they're always like surprisingly like super expensive.
The art piece is $12 million and the Perfect Pink diamond, $23.2 million.
What is the point of billionaire blast?
You guys have gotten literally all of them wrong.
Because we broke.
Yeah.
I cannot like fathom having that much money.
It's just like spending $200 million on a piece of art. That's insane to me, but
on anything, even on a boat. That is insane to me.
Listen, I'm a fountain of good ideas. I thought of how great it would be if you just randomly one day got like a yellow highlighter when you bought your cheeseburger. Sweet, I needed one of these, and I'm not even close to this type of realm. Like this just seems preposterous that people are spending.
We're getting excited about highlighters in a McDonald's box. We're not purchasing art.
Not at all.
Jesse, most expensive, the Rhine 2. It's a photograph taken by German visual artist Andreas Gerke in the year 1999. The photograph represents the true relationship of a man with nature. Or gold-plated Bugatti Veyron. It's a car with gold plating across it, owned by Flo Rida. Or the Crystal Piano. As the name suggests, it's a piano handcrafted entirely of crystal, first made public in the year 2008 during the opening ceremony of the Beijing Olympic Games. What's the most expensive of those three things? And remember, you have your billionaire blast.
I'm gonna rule out I feel like the fact that Bugatti belonged to Flo Rida actually diminishes the value significantly. Like people are like, hey, dope Bugatti. And you're like, yeah, it used to belong to Flo Rida. You're like, oh, well, you know. So that's off the list. Give me my billionaire blast.
Then we will take off the photograph, the Rhine 2.
Well, then
so
obviously it's the piano. Obviously it's the piano.
The Crystal Piano was worth $3.2 million. Flo Rida's gold-plated Bugatti, $10 million.
Trust me. Ain't nobody paying $10 million for Flo Rida's Bugatti.
Like, what's that smell? Flo Rida's weed. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry.
What are these apple bottom jeans doing back here?
I was gonna say, no one wants a Bugatti owned by one of the lamest artists in music.
I will say, every time I have to spell the word Florida, I do say Flo Rida in my head.
I'm sorry though. You put on apple bottom jeans and boots with a fur, and your party started. I'm sorry. You said lamest artist
whole club
ever.
Is looking at her.
I'm calm. Oh, come on.
That's like saying, oh, hey, cool, man. I got, Pitbull's lawnmower. Oh, great. Cool. I'm not saying people don't like the novelty of the music. I'm just saying it's not a cool thing to own.
It's not worth $10 million.
I got you.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the third one, Cameron?
Oh, the photograph. He ruled that out. That was 4.3 million. So yeah, it's still the Bugatti. Mm-hmm. All right, Derek, your last round. You guys are all zeros. So if Derek gets this right, he wins.
I'm gonna win.
He wins. The price is what? Here we go. The most expensive, the iPhone 3GS Supreme Rose, a handset crafted with 75 flawless diamonds and 4 pink baguette diamonds that weighs 2.5 carats each. It includes a luxurious hand-finished wallet that is made from real ostrich foot. iPhone 3GS. Feather of a Hwai bird. The Hwai feathers represent friendship and respect. The feathers of the Hwai birds is very expensive because the animal has been extinct for more than 100 years. There's only one feather left in known existence. Or the magnetic floating bed. Taking 7 years to complete, the magnetic floating bed hovers 1.2 feet above the ground and has the capacity to hold up to 2,000 pounds. So we got the magnetic floating bed, the feather of Hwai bird, or the iPhone 3GS Supreme Rose. What's most expensive?
Billionaire blast me, please.
Billionaire blast. We're going to take off the feather of the Hwai bird. That was $10,000. So it's between the magnetic floating bed and the iPhone 3GS Supreme Rose.
We're going magnetic floating bed.
$1.6 million for that bed. The iPhone 3GS Supreme Rose is $2.9 million.
Gosh,
you guys
darn it.
all got everyone wrong.
I think it's the first time that's ever happened.
I think so too. Tyler, it's too hard, man.
Bro, you gotta chill.
Give us two choices with shorter descriptions. That's what we need. All right. Well, there you go. That'll do it for the first and last edition of
The Price is What?
Well, before we wrap things up, I want to thank once again Stephen Chandler for joining us. Check out his latest book, Stop Waiting for Permission. It's available now. Stop waiting for permission. Just go get it. Also, make sure to, speaking of things you need to do without asking for permission, go over to relevantmagazine.com and check out our fall issue. It is available now. It's available for free thanks to our presenting sponsor, He Gets Us. We have an incredible, powerful story with MIA about her conversion experience. We talked to Dayglow, the cast of The Rings of Power, so much more. Like I said, it's available for free. Just click on the magazine tab at relevantmagazine.com. Pretty good price, right? If you want a better experience, an ad-free experience, a beautifully designed experience, join Relevant Plus. You get a special enhanced edition of the digital magazine. You also get an ad-free version of this podcast. You get unlimited ad-free reading at relevantmagazine.com, exclusive podcast, and more. You can sign up right there on the Relevant Plus tab at relevantmagazine.com. Plans start as low as $250 a month. It's the best way to experience our content, and we love the support. Also, while you're at the site, make sure to check out our daily content where we're covering the intersection of faith, life, culture, and justice every day. Also, over in the faith section, every weekday, we start the day off with a new Deeper Walk devotional. It's presented by Lumo. You can sign up for an email to drop it in your inbox every morning. So when you check your phone, it's the first thing you see. Or you can just visit the faith section at relevantmagazine.com. It's a great way to start your day. All right, on that note, we'll wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Derek Miner.
I'm Emily Brown.
We'll see you next time. Have a great week, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
I challenge all scientists, dedicate your life to research that just encourages people to eat garbage.
Relevant Podcast Network.